Um, Good morning. I'm Joyce Glass, the Right Coach, for those of you that don't know me, and I am coming to you from, well, it's a little bit sunny in Asheville today. I think all this Hurricane Matthew is bringing in some clouds even all the way up here in North Carolina, and I hope everyone is staying safe down in Florida and going to be up the East Coast. So I am glad to be here today. It is Tips from the Right Coach, and we're going to talk about being a writer, how to be a writer. And I'm going to give you some quick tips on being a writer. But last time I talked to you, and I just wanted to review real quickly about having a clear message. And you can watch that Facebook Live on my website. Go to therightcoach.biz, and it is the very first one. It says create a clear message. If I remember what I called it. But today is be a writer, and this Facebook Live and some information and a download will be on there on the website a little bit later today, and you'll be able to have a download for today. But last time I talked about having a clear message, and what that was about was you want to have a clear message that you are sharing if you're writing in a book, a blog post, a talk, or even if you are in business. You want to have a clear message and be able to tell people, hey, David, you want to be able to tell people clearly and succinctly what you do in a couple of sentences and in a way that it's easy to understand. This week I did a expo. I had a little table at it that's called the FABA Expo. It's the Fletcher Area Business Association. And this guy walked up to my table and said, hey, what do you do? And he's like, I'm a welder. Like, great. Like, you weld art, or you weld stuff? You weld pipes? I mean, what do you weld? You know, and so I talked to him about how he could create a clear message and share in a better way what he does with other people. And the way you can do that is, and hey, David, I'm just going through real quick what I did last time, and then I'm going to share some quick tips today about being a writer. So I'll be right to that. But how you clarify your message, and this review is actually in the download for today, is you want to journal and write, just free write about what you do. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just write down, your story, and that will help you come up with key words and key sentences and things that you can do to then what the next step is, you want to condense that story. It could be pages and pages and pages down to 2 to 4 sentences. How do you solve someone's problem? Or if you're writing a book, what is the problem you're trying to solve? What is the story you're trying to tell? What do you want people to get out of your book? What is your accomplishment? The same thing is out of a blog post. What's the end in mind? What do you want them to come away with that? Is there something you want them to be able to do? Something you want them to reflect on? Something you want them to continue on working with you? Whatever it is, you need to have a point to your sentences or to your blog posts. And when I say sentences, the sentences are the clear message that you want to give to people, that you share with people. And then you want to journal your wins and losses weekly. For this is whether you write or whether you have a business, whatever. This is a good time of reflection. It also is a good way when you look back and if you are looking for content that you want to put into your message or into a story or use for a blog post. This could be something, hey, I learned this week. This happened this week. And sorry, I'm noticing here I've got uneven eyebrows. So anyhow, the thing is you want to have a journal to keep up with that. And so that'll help you get your message clear. Let's see. Then the benefits of that message is your audience knows what you do. They know clearly what you do and how you do it. They know what problem you could solve, and it makes it easier for you to market, whether you market in, on Facebook, on Twitter, on radio, on, in the newspaper, whatever, podcasts, whatever you do. When you share what you do, then people are going to know that's what you do, and they can go, hey, somebody talks about writing and they need help with writing, hey, my friend Joyce, she's a writing coach. Maybe she can help you if that's something you want to learn more about or you're struggling with. She's a writing coach, and that's what she does. That's what you want your message to be clear about, so that other people will be able to refer them to you, but they'll also know exactly what you do, and they're not going, well, she says she's a writing coach, but I'm not really sure what that means or what she does. And, you want to make sure that you have that message clear. People aren't confused about what you do and how you help people. So that was from last week, but today we're going to talk about being a writer. And I've got 3 quick tips to tell you. The biggest thing is, any writer, hey Bobby, any writer that you've ever heard of, Stephen King, Anne Lamott, Karen Kingsbury, John Grisham, you name it. I mean, those are a lot of fiction writers, but there's, nonfiction writers too, like Michael Hyatt, Jeff Goins. All of them will tell you need to write, if not daily, at least weekly. You need to pick a time and commit to writing. And how you doing, Bobby? And that when you commit that time, that is what's going to help you grow your business, grow your writing. You're going to become a much better writer, a stronger writer. You're going to become clear in your writing. You're going to find your voice in writing. You probably hear about voice a lot. And you want it to sound like you. When people read it, you want them to be able to essentially hear your voice if they know you. If they don't know you, they're going to pick up on what your voice is like, because your personality, your voice is going to come through. So you want to commit to writing daily or weekly. And when I say daily, it could be 15 minutes in the morning, as soon as you get up. That's something that I started doing. The past week or so has been kind of crazy, so I haven't been able to do it as consistently for me. But when I do it, I love it. I love being able to get that done. I have that sense of accomplishment. And then, first thing in the morning, I'll get up and I'll write for about 30 minutes is what I do. But 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever you have time to do, commit to that daily if you can, or weekly. Plan a time that you have a chunk of time, whether it be 30 minutes or an hour. Or David Mike, who was in our group, who just released his book Dishonor, he told me how he wrote a big chunk of his book is he committed to 2 hours a week, because that's all he had. He works 2 jobs. He is a dad, and he has kids, and so they, wife, and they have to have time together for themselves, obviously, and they need the time with the family, and obviously working. So he committed to 2 hours a week. That's when he would write, and that's when he wrote his book. And that is what's powerful. When you get that momentum going, then okay, I've got this 2 hours, and you need to make it productive. And you want to have a plan when you sit down to write. What am I going to write about? Am I going to work on a blog post? Am I working on my book? If you have a framework for your book, and that's something that I've taught in my webinars, if you have a framework for your book, it's much easier to keep going because you know what's next. You know where you're going next. And so that's what I teach my clients, is get that framework, and it makes that writing time much more productive. So the next tip that I have is you want to read about writing. You want to read books about writing. You want to read blog posts about writing. You want to watch things like this from The Write Coach that help you learn more about writing. And I'm going to get in more details in the next couple weeks. For all of you that don't know, I finally have my website up. It's called thewritecoach.biz. And weekly I'm going to have these Facebook Lives, and I'm going to have some content on there to go with the Facebook Live. I'm going back. I'm added the ones that I've already done, and one of them has content. The rest of them don't yet. Get to it eventually. But like for last week, there's a download, and this week there's a download. And next week, I think what I'm going to do, because I'm going out of town, is I'm going to do a video on how to use Scrivener. And it's going to be a screencast instead of a Facebook Live, so that people can see it easier. I did a Facebook Live, but it was kind of hard to tell. My camera's shaking, and it's hard to get it clear. So I'm going to do a screencast where you can see it much clearer next week, and I want to share that next week. So that is something that you can come to each week and be learning about writing. That's something we're going to do. And then a friend of mine, Colleen White-Martian, and I, she and I are working together to create something called the Write Academy. And it's going to be a monthly subscription program, very inexpensive, so that you can have community as well as writing expertise each week. And we're going to take you completely through the writing process of a book. So that's something to look forward to, and I wanted to give you a little tease on that. So the first tip is commit to writing each week. And you heard it said that it takes like 10,000 hours of doing something to really become an expert at something. So the more you do it, the better you do it. And then the next thing is read about writing, so you can learn more about it, and read, watch videos, whatever works for you. I mean, there's a ton of YouTube videos too about writing. And then the next thing is start a blog or blog consistently if you're already blogging, so that that helps you develop that writing skill. That's when my writing started to get a lot better, because I was writing and I knew I was writing for someone. Someone was going to see it. Someone was going to have an opinion about it. And so I started writing so that I could do that, and that is very important. And it doesn't have to be a big fancy blog. WordPress.com has free blogs. That's what I recommend to start with. I really liked it. You can start there, and then move into the self-hosted. But don't go in worrying about self-hosted. Just find a free site on WordPress.com, make it simple, and get going. Even if it's just for the pure enjoyment of it, just to get your information out there. If you're writing fiction, show bits of your story, or how you come up with your story, or something information that would help people. If you're if it's spiritual based, which is my dailygps.com, easy for me to say, that's my spiritual based blog. That's where I started. And that is what helped me. And it started off, it wasn't the Daily GPS. I can't remember what I called it first. I think it was joyceglass.org, which is the main website, but I called it something else before the Daily GPS. But anyways, the point is, get writing. And the more you write, the better you will write. And we all think, about like Stephen King and all these others, that they just sit down and those stories just come out perfectly. No, they have to work at it, and they've worked at their craft long enough, and they've learned their craft, and that helps them to be able to do it easier now than they did when they first started. But there was nothing, magnificent about it. And as I've told, some of my clients, they get kind of frustrated that their first draft isn't perfect, and it's like, nobody's first draft is perfect. That's what it's called, a first draft. You just get the information out there, and then you worry about making it beautiful. And that's what I want you to do. So these 3 quick tips are on here, but then I also have something else for you. It's I'm going to do a writing challenge. I'm going to do a 90-day writing challenge. And how this is going to work is, a lot of it is up to you. And this is for you, and it's about you. So it's not going to be, I'm not going to become checking on you. But what I want you to do is you want to choose how many days a week you're going to write. You're going to choose a time to write and commit to it. And then you're going to choose, whether you're going to, I try to do 500 words a day. Maybe your goal is 100 words a day. That's a very simple and achievable goal, and very good goal to start if you're just starting. If you're writing more, hello, Wycliffe. If you're writing more, then you are able to do that. You're able, to do 500 or 1,000 words a day, then make that your goal. Whatever it is, make either a word count goal or a time goal, like you're going to write for 30 minutes. Make one or the other, but write down this commitment. And hopefully you are already in the group. I'm going to post this video outside of the group so people can see it too. But if you aren't in the group, then you join the group, and each week I'm going to post the 90-day writing challenge post. You'll see it, and I will have in there, a link to this blog post about this So you can do the download and get the rules. But the rules are, choose your day, choose your time, choose whether you're going to do words or a word count or a time allotment, and then be in the group. And then each week, I'm going to post it. And if you make a comment every week for over those 90 days, so that's 3 months, if you make a comment, hey, I did it, hey, I didn't do it, whether you did or didn't do it, that's going to be up to you, because this is for you. I'm not going to come and check your homework, And if you lie to me, then that's between you and God. But what I want you to do is just make a comment, whether you got your writing done or whether you didn't, or how well you did, or hey, I did great, I did all 7 days this week, I did 15 minutes a day, and I got over 500 words a day in that 15 minutes, some of them. Whatever it is that works. And then at the end of the 90 days, I'm going to draw a name, somebody who has every week put on there, that you're going to be put into a drawing every week that you post that you did it or didn't do it. And at the end, I'm going to give 6 months subscription to the Write Academy that I told you just a little bit ago. The Write Academy is the writing program that Colleen White Martian and I are doing together. It's going to be a monthly program, and we're going to have a video each month and a Q&A call each month, and so we're going to have something called, I think I'm going to call it Grammar Time. A lot of people struggle with the English language and knowing the proper English, how to do things properly, and they're intimidated by that, and we're going to help you with that. And so we're going to have Grammar Time once a month. So you'll get a couple different things in there. There'll be the Facebook community. So it's going to be lots of fun things. And so that's something that I want to be able to gift to you the first 6 months. And I'm going to do that for one person, maybe two. We'll see how many people get on this challenge. But you have to make a comment every week to be entered into the drawing, whether you went or whether you wrote or you didn't write. So hopefully you can do that. And then on this download for today, I'm going to put the link in the comments when I'm done. But in this, I've got some different writing blogs and different writing books that I suggest. There's the rules for the 90-day writing challenge, and then there's the writing quick tips for writing. And again, those quick tips are: commit to a time to write daily or weekly, and read about writing, whether it's blogs or watching videos or reading a book about writing. Constantly be learning and educating yourself about the writing craft. And then if you haven't started a blog, start a blog. It can be something simple and free. Blogspot's not my favorite, but if that's another one that's free, but WordPress.com is my favorite. It's easier to go from WordPress.com to a self-hosted site to move things over. That's why I suggest WordPress.com. Blogspot, I think you can do the same thing, but I do not like their format. It's just not as nice looking as WordPress.com. But that's the choice is up to you. Whatever's easiest for you to do to just get into the habit. Yay, Carmen! I'm glad you are excited about the 90-day challenge. I am too, and I hope to get a lot of interest. And if y'all can make sure in the group that we share this to get everybody going and excited. So, because I'm excited about sharing the Write Academy with everyone too when it comes out. It's probably going to be around the beginning or middle of November when we actually release the program. And then we'll do another release January, February. I haven't decided. We're still kind of ironing out all the details of how we're going to do this. But I am offering a free 6-month subscription to anyone who comments. They'll be putting the drawing on this 90-day writing challenge. So I'm excited about that. And then, like I said, the rules are on here for the 90-day writing challenge in this download. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to get out that blog post all prettied up and make sure it's ready. And then I'll put the link with this Facebook live post, and then I'll also share it separately so that hopefully everybody will catch it. And you can then download these quick tips, the writing blogs and writing books I suggest, and the rules of the 90-day challenge. And then there's also the review from last week about getting your message clear, and I put there's a link on there to the blog post about creating a clear message. So anybody have any questions today? I'm so glad you showed up. Bobby and David was here earlier, and Wycliffe and Carmen. Anybody have any questions right now? I would love to be able to help you. And of course, you know, as a writing coach, I do offer a complimentary Best Book Ever session. You can go to thewritecoach.biz, and there's a tab up at the top. It says 6 Steps to the Best Book Ever. And in that session, what I do is I help you get clear on your vision of what you want to do for your book, help you create a plan to get that book done, and then we will also help you. You're welcome, Carmen. And help you get started with that book. If you need my help, then we'll continue on. If you don't, that's fine. There's no pressure. But I always love to get to know people and talk to them, and I do offer that session as a way just to help you and offer some guidance on your book project. So if you want to sign up for that, you just go to thewritecoach.biz, and there on the tab up on the very top right says 6 Steps to the Best Book Ever session, and you click on that and it will give you some more information, and there's a way for you to sign up for that there. So hope everyone is having a wonderful and beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.